And welcome to my playhouse. And today we're gonna be messing with Proxmox. I installed the newest version of Proxmox. Well, that day I haven't checked if there's a newer one. There often is. I installed that on my Lenovo X3650 Model 5. And today I want to create a virtual machine on there and pass through the graphics card to it. I have an AMD RX480 in there that I want to pass through to a virtual machine so that it can be working on my folding at home here at my playhouse, trying to get the points up so that I'm getting my ass beat on folding at home on my own team. But good for you, but it's all for a good cause. So most of today's video is gonna be at the computer, and we might as well just go there right away. So we found ourselves in front of the computer again, and I think I fixed the sound so it sounds a bit better. Let me know if it's better than last time, if you saw it last time. We're gonna try and see if we can pass through the GPU to a virtual machine in Proxmox. I haven't installed a virtual machine yet, but well, there is some stuff that we need to do before we can even, well, I can install it, but I might as well get that out of the way to start with. And I have found a nice little how-to guide on Reddit that goes through what we have to do. So first we have to do something for the Intel processor, and they kind of don't explain why, but it has to do with telling the system what CPU you have, not as if it couldn't find that itself. A lot of this is really stupid. Why has Proxmox not done this themselves? It would be so easy for some programmer to go and do this. Just make a table of whatever needs to talk to whatever, and if you want to pass through this graphics card, well, it has to be done this way. Wouldn't be too hard, at least I think so. We need to go to the shell command here, and we need to edit one of the file is called, well, you can see it. I'm gonna copy it onto the screen here, and the nano part in front of that is just the editing program. I am not very knowledgeable about Linux, so if you're a Linux guy, you are watching the wrong channel, that's for sure. So we're gonna go in here, and we should find it's actually that line there that we have to edit. And if we have let's see, AMD processor, we'll have to add this. How do you do that? There's the prompt. How old is that? There's a mouse, but it doesn't work. Really? So that would be for an AMD processor. It's very simple to put an Intel in there instead. There is really no reason why Proxmox couldn't do this for us. Do we really have to go into an editor and do this? The article that I'm reading on the side here says that this should be enough. If you have a really stupid CPU, you might have to go in later and add some stuff to get around other things. I don't think I have a stupid CPU, so we are gonna try and go with this for now. Also, down here at the bottom, there is how to get out of this again. So when we have done our editing in here, we should be able to write out, and that is Control O. Can you just press enter? Did that work? Yeah, it did. Just then exit, Control X there, and try and go in. And yes, we have edited that. Oh boy. Oh dude, who came up with this shit? So we need to apply that, and that is done by updating the grub, and that should be simple enough. You paste that line, update, and it does something, and it runs something, and we're back to the prompt. So the next thingy that we have to edit is something called module, and it's located here. This nano thing, I might just end up becoming good at that. There is no modules in here, so let's go to the bottom, and then they have a list of modules that needs to be added for this to work. So we're gonna put those in. There. And now we're getting good at this, so Control O and Enter and Control X. And we are back out. And we better go back in and check if it's there. It's still there. So yeah, good. Moving on. So next thing, we need to run a couple of commands. I think we can take one at a time. So I'm just cutting and pasting from this. I'll try and leave that in the description of this video because it might make more sense than just watching me do it. Except you might like to see it this way. So this is the line that we are putting in, and it's he writes that it's remapping some interruptions, and I'm pretty much having to take his word for that because I have no idea what this does. It adds something. It adds something to that file, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be. So let's hit that one, and then there is another line, and it probably does the same thing. There, yeah. There, those two has been run. Then we need to add some blacklists. One of the problems that you run into with GPUs is that the GPUs don't really want to be virtualized. They want to sell their very, very expensive GPUs for the virtualization. So what you can do is not to tell the GPU that it's on a virtualized environment. And I think this is, I'll just get some distance, and these three commands will kind of do that. And then we have to nano. Yeah, they are added to that file. Good. Okay, so now it becomes complicated. We need to ask the system what GPUs it sees in here, or what devices it sees. What's on the PCI Express bus? So there is apparently a command for that. We should get quite a few outputs here, and we did. So we need to find our graphics cards in all of this. So this is the stuff about my AMD graphics card. I have a RX480 in here, and yeah, we're gonna need some codes from that. I think more or less we're just gonna need that code right there, but let's I also have an NVIDIA. I'll find that as well. And here is my NVIDIA card. I think we're gonna need that 81 code out here. With those codes that I just found, we need to extract some other codes, some vendor, what is that? Some vendor IDs. And there's a command for that. This is the command. Right now, this is just from the document that I'm following. I need to add my own numbers. The code that I got was 06, and then for the graphics card there was a 0 at the end, and for the sound part there was a .1. But if you just remove that, you get both, as I'll read this. So we're gonna try that, see what we get. Yeah, we get two codes there, and I will copy those, and we'll do the same thing for the NVIDIA card. That's on 81. There, so with those codes, we need to add those. I have from the text document, this is what we're gonna be doing next. We need to replace these codes right there with the ones that I just picked up, and I have them over here. I have a text document that I'm putting everything in on the side. We might just put that there so you can just exactly see what I'm doing. So up here we have the first code from the AMD card. So we're gonna borrow that. I'm gonna put that in here. Really. There, and delete one code. And then pick the next code for the sound part of the graphics card, and we'll put that there. And as they are just putting a dot between them, I think we can just do that and put in another code, which is the one that we got from the NVIDIA card. I'm just gonna pop that in as well. Oh, that's making up stuff is never good. this is where it breaks. So we're gonna be adding 3 codes here. Looks about right. So it's gonna pop it into that file. We might just go check that when we have done this. So let's go over here and press enter. And then we'll check that file. And that was what it did. Actually better than telling us to create a file and put the text in there. So it's, oh, but there is 2 spaces there. Is that supposed to be 2 spaces? There are not supposed to be 2 spaces. I think we will go and remove one of those spaces. I might have messed that up. So, okay, we fixed that. Yeah, I put in 2 spaces. So good thing that we checked. So there is another command that we need to run. Let's just get some space there and put that in. This is gonna update something, and not sure if it did what it was supposed to do. Never like these. No. Yeah, and then it wants us to reboot the system. We can do that, or restart, reset. Is that how you clear the screen? That would be nice. So now I should actually be able to create my first virtual machine in here that should be able to pass some GPUs through. Okay, it seems that creating a virtual machine for this is a lot more difficult than first thought. Let's try and do this together. So create VM up here, and giving it a name is okay. So far so good. I have the advanced set down here, so we get more options. Next, here we need to tell it what we're going to be installing. I'm going to be installing Server 2019. That's that ISO file, and we need to tell it that that is what we're doing. And there is different versions, but well, Windows 10, 2016, and 2019 is the same. Next, system. We need to select this VRI, but in single there, and we need to change the BIOS to UEFI BIOS, and we need to tell it where to put the little UEFI storage disk, and we are gonna put that on. This is NVMe storage, very fast. It only takes up 4 megabytes, so that is where we're gonna be putting that. Also, we're gonna change the machine type from default i440FX to a Q35 there. Next, hard drive, we are not going to use IDE, we're going to go for SCSI 0, and we are going to put our disk also on the NVMe drive there, very fast. We're going to make it a bit bigger, 50 gigs. Yeah, that is about it from there. This might look different if you're dealing with a new version of Proxmox or an older version. They change stuff around all the time. So we're gonna put in 4 cores, 1 socket, 4 cores. Next, memory. We're gonna give it 8 gigs. That's 8192. Next, network. We're gonna keep that. Next, and confirm. Yes, finish. Then we need to go set the boot order here, and that's under options. It's there. We're gonna edit that. We're gonna tell it to use the CD-ROM drive first and the disk, and then we don't want it to boot from network. So okay, there we are. So this is what my options look like, and this is what my hardware look like. So we need to go and do some more configuring. So we need to go up here and use the shell. There we are. We need to mess with the configuration file of the new virtual machine, and that is located there. We need to put in the number of the machine that we are dealing with. I think that's just gonna be 100 here. There is the configuration file, and we need to add some stuff to that. And the stuff that we need to add, I'll just put it down here. You can see the machine type Q35. we already have that because I was able to pick that. We can get rid of that. There. Then there is CPU host. No, so we are adding that. And then there is this argue thing here, and that is also a new line that we will be adding. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna save that. Is that correct? And it says that Proxmox is gonna, well, move stuff around after I save this. So we're gonna save this and we're gonna go in and check. So let's Control O, enter, and escape, and back. It didn't move anything. They're still there. Oh, never mind. So far so good. So now it's time to add the GPU to our configuration, and we do that under hardware here and add, and there should be a PCI device right there, and no emu detected. Okay, I'm gonna do as any good Windows administrator, and I'm gonna reboot the whole host and reboot. Yes, we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, we have rebooted. You can see it was down for a little period of time, and well, I was actually checked the BIOS and stuff. I didn't change anything. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing anything too stupid. Well, might have done that anyway, but I didn't change anything. So let's go to our virtual machine here, and if we try to add PCI Express, we don't get any errors this time, so that's an improvement. So it did do something for us when we rebooted the host. Add, and we're gonna add our, we have the NVIDIA card here. I am gonna try and get the AMD card up and running. That is the most powerful of the two, so that would be the best one to get up and running. And we wanted to do all functions, and this ROM bar should also be checked, and primary GPU no, PCI Express yes, and add. So that is added. And then there is also the PCI, the sound part of it. I am not sure if that is necessary. We're gonna try and add it. There. I'm gonna do the same thing. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so far so good. There is a whole section of this. If this doesn't work, well, you can export the ROM of the graphics card and put it in somewhere, and yeah, if this doesn't work, we might have to go there, but otherwise we're now jumping to start the installation of the virtual machine and see how that goes. So we need to make sure that the CD is loaded. It is, so we should be able to go up here, open the console. There's nothing, and then power on the machine. Did it get that? Sometimes we need to reboot that, and there's still nothing. It is powered on. It did not get the console. Failed with code 1. That's not great. So let's go into the hardware thing and then remove that thing. The sound part of it. Yes, remove that. And then we'll go back out and try and start it. It started. Console. It's doing something. Press any key for CD-ROM. And I am gonna try and install this. I think at some point I might have to load the driver to have it see my disk. And we're gonna install the standard with desktop experience. Next, and it finds nothing. That was expected. So what we need to do is to put this over here, go into hardware, CD-ROM. Here we'll just select the other ISO file, click OK, go back here, load driver, browse, and we need to go to the folder with the SCSI there, and there is 2K19 there. Go there, and we're gonna use that. Thank you. There is our 50 gig hard drive. We can use that. We'll pick that. Can we? No. New. Apply. Yes. Thank you. Next. That's a lot of weird partitions that it's making. Okay, it was of course me who hadn't returned it back to the ISO file for the server 2019, so it messed up. So I have rebooted everything and tried multiple different stuff, but that was the error. So we can continue now and it will install just fine. This should be really quick running of NVMe drives inside of the server. So now server 2019 is installed. Let's log in here. They suggest that we enable remote desktop. I do kind of agree with that. Let's do that. Network. We're on the network. Cool. Server manager. We are probably just gonna disable that because we might need it, but right now we don't want it. To disable that starting up, server manager properties, don't start up, and go away and close. And there we are. And when we want to enable remote desktop, I always just right click on this computer, properties, remote settings, and do not allow. Allow. Yes, yes. And who, well, administrator is always allowed. I think so. Apply and OK. And now we have number 19. Okay. So I have popped that in. Connect. It's gonna complain about the username, I'm sure. Yeah. We're gonna pick something else. There. Oh, and it popped up on the other screen. Yeah, it went from really bad resolution to, well, taking up all the property space. But yeah, we definitely have a remote desktop up and running. So yes, that is working. And now it is suggested to shut down the built-in screen adapter. Apparently you do that by going in here. Default graphics card. You pick none. None. Okay. So when we reboot, will it disappear or what will happen? But it should be time to install the graphics drivers. So they want me to reboot this. I think we might be losing signal to it when we do that. So yeah, I'll try that. Oh, still got some kind of a screen. Okay. So now we should be able to go and get our drivers for this. Okay, I have logged in again, and it does have some devices that it doesn't recognize. So I think we might be on the right track here. This tiny screen is impossible to work with, so I'm gonna try and use remote desktop instead. So we're gonna try and connect here and connect again, and that's better. And I have, oh, it just logged in. That's nice. So we're gonna get rid of this one for now and use this one instead. I have downloaded the newest version of the software drivers for this AMD Radeon 480 something card. So I think we should just try and run that. I think we're at that point. So while it's doing that, I actually didn't download the software to this machine. I downloaded the software to my PC in my living room, and then I copied the software to my NAS, and then from the NAS I downloaded it to the server, which is kind of the recommended way to do it, to keep safe from too many viruses and bad experience on your servers. Oh, cross your fingers. Oh. I tried with an older driver that I have in, well, on my NAS, and it comes out, yeah, it tells me this in Danish, and it says that it can't recognize the AMD graphics card hardware. So, all that work and it doesn't see it. Yikes! Okay, we're gonna try something here. Oh, right click, update driver. Check computer, let me pick from list. There. I have a disk. Browse. I have two folders now. When you extract and run the program, it makes a folder in the root directory called AMD. Go in there, you have two. I have two because I tried a newer and an older driver pack to see if there was any difference. There was not. Except I got a better explanation on the older one. So we're gonna try the newer one. That's the folder where it has extracted all the files to. So go in there, packages, drivers, display, and that one. And I found if I pick this one, the top one here, and open and OK, we get a list of a lot of AMD stuff, and I thought we should just try and see what happens if we pick the right one. There we are. That's the one I have. Next is not recommended. No, but let's do it anyway. If we're gonna mess this up, we might as well do it really well. Okay. Windows has encountered a problem installing drivers with the device. Windows find drivers. The device is not working properly. Code 31. Close. Well, we have one there, and then we have one there with an error. Well, we just need one of them to work, really. So, okay, so I installed GPU set here, and it kind of thinks that there's a GPU in there, so we might not be that far off. I will try and get folding at home and see if that will use the GPU. Okay, that looks pretty good actually. Seems like to be working. Right now it says that's gonna be producing 21,950 a day. That's not a lot. 2 CPUs it's using, and those are gonna be producing 1,600. Usually when it has run for a little bit, these numbers will go drastically up. I think we are kind of working. I don't like that thing where it says that it's not working there, not enjoyable. Don't know if I should just delete that. I'm gonna give this half an hour and we're gonna check if it produces the right numbers. You could actually go see GPU set here. I shut it down, but we can turn it up again and we can see if it's doing anything. You can see the temperature out there. The GPU load is 100%. It's doing good work. Temperature is not too high. It actually looks pretty good. I'll let this run for a bit and we will come back to it. Yeah, see there. Now we are talking. 414,021 points per day on the GPU. The CPU, not so much, 12,000. So I guess we have a winner. Awesome, that worked. It took all day, but hopefully you can do it faster now that I've showed you how I did it. So if you want to join my folding at home, links is in the the description, how to get onto my team at Folding at Home. And now maybe you can use a GPU as well and get 400,000 points a day. And if you have a better GPU, you can do even better than that, I'm sure. So, thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye. Oh, remember to like this video. It's somewhere.